Hello, this is Jordan. This video is being recorded on the late afternoon of Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hope you all had a great week. And this past week, we saw gold up a little bit, silver up over 3% on the week, and the gold and silver stocks up about 2% or 3%, depending on which index you check. And so the question for me is, gold is in breakout territory, hasn't run away yet, hasn't gained that much upside momentum. Are we going to see the gold stocks and silver start to take gold's lead? And the answer is, if gold is going to run to 2,900 or 3,000, I think it's more likely than not that that will be the case. So let's get into the charts. Okay, so starting off here, daily charts from gold and silver. Here's gold, silver here, daily candle charts. Gold this week, you can see here, right around, 25.50, 25.60. There's a little bit of short-term daily resistance, nevertheless, pretty good weekly close, but there is a little resistance here. So gold, it kind of had this breakout here. I don't know if that was Monday. Can't remember if it was Monday or the end of last week. And so no follow through yet, but it did close today up over 1%. So it was fractionally higher on the week. Silver, we like to see this. So recently I was bemoaning, maybe 2 weeks ago, bemoaning the fact gold was up, silver and the miners were not. Now we have the opposite, and you like to see that. So 29, this is key resistance. So it was nice to see a successful test of 29, then a nice pop higher here. So this reestablishes 29 as support, and the next resistance on the daily chart is going to be just below 31. Gold-silver ratio falling. That's great. We like to see that, and we would like to see that continue. So it would be nice if this continues to go lower, but even if it just dribbles lower back down to 80, because if gold is going to trend to 2,700, 2,900, etc., I mean, you throw in gold-silver ratio of 80, much higher silver than if the gold-silver ratio is at 85, 88. So hopefully that continues. I think it's more likely to continue than not. Let's get into the weekly charts. And so we can see here, I mean, it's been interesting, the action in gold, because you have quite a few not so strong candles like this one 2 weeks ago. I mean, you had this is a bullish hammer, or not a bullish hammer, it's a hammer, but typically you see those candles like down here after the market sells off. Last week, very strong move. This week, not the greatest candle, but still, it's trending up. It's broken out. So you can't get bearish on it yet. Silver, really like to see this. Reclaiming 29. Again, you go back here, and if you look at the weekly chart, we can see 29 was clear resistance back here multiple times. And, I mean, this is just whipsaw city in the last few months. Ramped to 29, pullback, broke through it. Then you had a couple successful tests. And so I figured this is going to hold 29, but then it went right back below it. Now we're back above 29. So again, this brings into play, again, on the daily, I think we were talking about 31. Weekly resistance here is at 32. So that's what we're looking at for silver. This move could continue up to 31, 32. Now, I posted this chart on Twitter today. I'll talk about this more in the premium update. I created this, or I came up with the idea for this yesterday. So this is an analog, just plotting gold's performance after it breaks to a new all-time high. So that's happened 4 times. I didn't count the one in 2020 where it was a marginal break and it really didn't last. But aside from that, you basically had 3 other instances of this: 1972, then 1978, the 2007 one, and of course now. So this is the 2007 one. Of course, you had the big move up. Then you had the 2008 minus 30%, then the steady increase. The 72 and 78 ones, similar action. I mean, this one that was longer was 72. So that was more drawn out. That would put us a little more than 2 years from now. Of course, the 1981, just a parabolic move. So here's the average. And if we continued the average, it would probably look like this. So what's interesting to me is, and you can see where we are here and now, the current breakout, and I prefer log charts, but this is a non-log chart. Every increment here is $500, so we're not going by percents like you see in a log chart. So the interesting thing to me is, will we see this move in gold? Can it make this move like this? Is it ever going to really accelerate? And so what this analog tells us is that at some point, very end of this year or at some point next year, this would be ripe for an acceleration. So that's what I'm thinking about on this gold all-time high breakout analog chart. And that's a great transition. Speaking of my premium service, you can check it out at thedailygold.com/premium. This info here talks about what we do, comprehensive update every week, every Sunday, sometimes flash updates. In every update, we also have a great top 10 company table with really important notes, a watch list company table. So you can sign up and you can immediately get an update and look at this right here and get a sense of our favorite stocks and some things about them, some important details about them. And we also have a real portfolio in every update. So we'd love for you to check it out. To those who are a subscriber, thank you so much. You guys allow me to do the work that I love, so thank you. Now, lastly, let's talk about the stocks. I've been writing about this, talking about it in videos over the last week or so, because I think there is a chance that we are going to see the gold stocks and silver stocks as well, that they could break out and really show some leadership here. And so I think that if gold is going to continue up to 3,000 in the next 4 to 6 months, then you can see the miners really accelerate here and take leadership. And they are coming up on really significant resistance levels, but I think they're going to break through. I mean, this is GDX. This is the weekly close right here. This is the highest weekly close. This is the second or third highest weekly close in the last, 3.5 years. I mentioned this in another video. If this makes a weekly close at 41, that would be the highest weekly close since the end of 2012. So this is setting up for really significant breakout. Same thing for GDXJ. You can see where it is right here, really close to breaking above or closing above 48. That would be the second highest weekly close, other than this one, in the last 3 years or so. And also, if you go back 12 years or so, GDXJ has not spent that much time above 48 to 50, really only here. So making a move up like this, it's in an area where resistance is going to really thin out, for lack of a better description. SILJ, this is significant resistance here, 12, 13-ish. But assuming everything that I've said already comes to pass, then you're going to see SILJ, it might pause for a little bit, but it could break above here. And this would be, again, a close here. That would be not a 3-year high or 11-year high, but a 2-year high. So that's still significant. So I really like how the gold stocks are lining up here. And that's where we are in this video. Hope we have something more exciting to say next week at the end of the month. We have the monthly charts coming up. Love that. So we'll have a lot more coming for you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you guys again next week.